This is a video on the limbic system. The limbic system is responsible for emotion, instinct, motivation, olfaction, and long-term memory production. The emotion tends to be strong emotion, the kind that gets the heart pumping, breathing more rapid, and the gut churning. It is strong emotion, not feelings. This type of strong emotion aids in memory production and long-term storage. The limbic system was identified in the late 1800s by Paul Broca, the man who discovered Broca's area for speech. He claimed it consisted of two parts, the cingulate gyrus and the hippocampal gyrus. The cingulate gyrus runs on top of the corpus callosum and reaches from the frontal lobe to the parietal lobe. The hippocampal gyrus is in the temporal lobe. These two structures are not connected. In the early 1900s, James Papez added structures to the limbic system in his proposed mechanism of emotion. He added the hypothalamus, fornix, in the anterior thalamic nuclei, which receives input from the mammillary bodies and aids in memory formation. The hypothalamus and anterior thalamic nuclei are all contained in the diencephalon, while the fornix is a white matter tract in the neocortex. Around 1950, P.D. MacLean added still more. He added the amygdala, mammillary bodies, and the rhinencephalon, or entorhinal cortex, which includes the septal nuclei and the epithalamus. The amygdala is in the temporal lobe, anterior to the hippocampus. The mammillary bodies are part of the diencephalon, and the rhinencephalon is in the posterior frontal lobe. All three of these structures aid in memory consolidation. After MacLean's additions, the limbic system completes a circle around the thalamus and hypothalamus. More structures have been added to the limbic system since MacLean, and these include the medial dorsal nucleus of the thalamus and the orbitofrontal cortex of the frontal lobe. The medial dorsal nuclei are important for memory formation, and the orbitofrontal cortex is important for decision making. The limbic system was thought to be the visceral brain by MacLean, who claimed it was the emotional brain that connected the new mammalian brain to the reptilian brain, and he considered it the old mammalian brain, where the substructures meet the cortex. The hypothalamus, being part of the limbic system, brings the hormones and endocrine system to the system. Olfaction representation allows us to remember odors and aromas. The memories of smelling turkey cooking and pumpkin pie can flood the brain with feel-good memories of Thanksgivings past. Other smells can trigger not-so-good feelings. The septal nuclei are part of the brain's reward system, feeding into the major reward system of the nucleus accumbens. These nuclei flood the brain with dopamine, our body's own feel-good drug. These are also involved in drug addiction and other addictions. This ends the video on the limbic system.